Right, advent of code day 11, Dumbo Octopus. So basically, I'm going to get a 10 by 10 grid, and uh, number represents an octopus. And this is a time step problem. So I'm going to step 100 times. And each time I step, first thing I do is increase each octopus by one. Then, if there's anyone who's greater than 9, so 10, it's going to flash. That means it's going to give one energy to all of the adjacent, including diagonals. And then anyone that has anyone that's 10 or greater is going to flash as well, so on. But each octopus can only flash once per step. That's important. Finally, once all the octopuses are done flashing and nothing needs to flash, anyone who did flash will be back to 0. And there's some examples here I don't really need. I mean, obviously, if you want to take a look through them, then they can be useful, but we're going to move from there. So I've got a starter template here. Actually, though, I'm going to change it a little. I'm going to go ahead and just create my grid right here. So that's going to equal line for line in my lines. And then I don't want each line. What I really want is array in each place. So I'll do int I or I in line dot strip. I don't want the new line. And this will give me a nice array of numbers. So let's see. We're going to do this. There's probably a more elegant way to do it, but we're going to just do some nested loops. So we'll do for t in range 100, because that's what they asked for. Do for r in range 10. I'm going to kind of, I guess I can, well, I'm just going to assume that they told me we'll be getting a 10 by 10, so I'm just going to assume we're dealing with 10 by 10, and if I have issues, I will certainly come back and check that. Start with that. And so now we will b of r of c plus equals 1. So that's the first step. Now incremented every one by one. And now we need to do another loop. This time, we're going to see who needs to flash. If g r greater than 9, flash, we'll define this in a minute. I'm going to see. And for r in range 10, 10, for c in range 10, and now we're going to, if g r c equals, I'm not sure, well, we're just going to call it f for now, but I'm going to have to fix that. Then g r c. Basically, I'm going to need to mark somehow that it flashed. In fact, I'll just think, let's see, we're going to go with -1. So once something flashes, we'll set it to -1 and we'll not touch it again. And then at the very end, we'll go through and take all the -1s and send them back to 0. Probably set them to 0 right away and just not touch them again, because of step 1, there will be no zeros. Ooh, I like that. Let's try that. We might come back to that. I might have to do this. Okay, so if that all works, a few things we need to know. We need to keep track of the number of flashes. So num flashes 0, and then we're gonna have to have our flash function return the number of times it flashed. And again, I'll explain what I'm thinking here in a second. But if that is the case, then we can just do print part 1. Okay, so what's missing? We need this flash function. Def flash r comma c. So what are we going to do here? We are going to first, so we're flashing here. So we're gonna start a count equals 1. We're going to return that count. So if there's just one flash in here, it'll return a 1. We'll add 1 to num flashes, and all will be good. So when I flash, I will g of r of c equals 0. Cool. Now we need to do for er in -1, 1, 0, for DC in -1. So basically, I'm setting it up so I can loop over all. Basically, this is gonna be a 3 by 3 grid of centered around uh, R and C. So when I do this, now I can do um, if I need to do some balance checking, right? Because I don't want to go to like -1. So 0 is less than or equal to R plus dr less than 10, keeps me in the bounds, and 0 is less than or C plus dc less than 10, so I'm still in the bounds, and g of r comma nope, nope, r plus dr plus dc not equal to 0 because I don't want to touch someone who already flashed. If all that's true, then I'm going to flash r plus dr plus dc. And that's going to return something, so I'll be count plus equals. Um, so an example where it flashes and flash happens, and let's say none of the ones around it reach 10, what's going to happen is I'm going to get a count equals 1. I'm going to set that 1 to 0. I'm going to loop over all of these things. I really don't want the 0.00 in there, but that'll be taken care of because by this right here. And then nothing's going to happen there, so I'll just return 1. Let's say I flash and I return, and it causes one more flash. So I'll set count to 1. I will set the first flash to 0. I will loop over all of the ones incrementing. One of those will cause another flash. So I will call the flash function there, which will have a count of 1. Nothing will. It'll do some increments, but nothing will. It will not meet this. So it'll return 1. So count then in the first function will be 2, and it will return that 2. So that's how it keeps the count over. That's probably confusing. This is the beauty of recursion. I've got some endpoint here where nothing's flashing, and then I can just keep breaking off little pieces and running them. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. Um, I'm sure it's possible I made some like horrendous error here, but let's take a look and see if runs. Python 3 day 1000. Okay, I'm pretty sure 1000 is not the right answer. 1956. Okay, something's wrong with my logic here. Go back up. All right, so when I flash, I do check if it's bounds, if it's already flat. Oh, that is a dumb mistake. Okay. So I'm checking if it's already flashed. I'm not checking if it needs to flash. So R plus dr, C plus dc is greater than 9. And there we go. So for something to flash, it has to have it has to be a row that exists. It has to be a column that exists. It has to have a power now greater than 9, and it has to not be 0. Let's I'm really screwing this whole thing up. I made this way. This was okay. So if it's inbounds and it has a power, if it's inbounds, I skipped a step. That's what happened. Okay, if it's inbounds and its power is not 0, then we're going to G sub R plus dr C plus dc plus equals 1. Then we're going to add the 1. Then we're going to do the check. If G sub R plus dr C plus dc, I should come up with a faster way to type that, is greater than 9, then I'm going to flash. Okay, so I'm at no risk of, as long as I don't add, I won't be adding to our ones that are already flashed, so they'll stay at 0, that's fine. No risk of, spreading to there. That looks a little bit better. See if that's still wrong. Let's see, go back through the logic here. I'm gonna set flashes, I've got a count, I'm gonna set it to 0, I'm gonna loop over. Oh man, what a terrible Because again, 204. Oh, am I only doing 10 rows? Yeah, T in range 10. Let's go back to 100. Oh man, this is taking me. Yep, that's the right answer. 1832. Let's see if that gets much harder than it needed to be. Gold star. Yep. Dang. Okay. All right. It seems like individual flashes aren't bright enough to navigate. You good options. Synchronizing. Start approaching the same. Calculate the exact moment when all the octopuses will flash simultaneously. Okay. How are we going to approach this? We're gonna change this to a t equals 0 while true. Do if t good if t 100. We'll print our part 1. Now, what are we looking for? So we want something where everyone flashes. Um, I'm gonna check that. Well, we're doing this right here. No, could keep a second count of like how many. So that's our total flashes. If at the top of our loop we say new flashes equals 0, equals 0, we come down here and we do new flashes. That end of the loop, we can say num flash plus e new flash. If new flashes equals 100, print part 2 the break. What I'm going to do basically is for each loop, I'm going to keep track of how many flashes get added. So if the new flashes is all of them, then I'm going to break. See if that works. Not what I new flashes. Be 100 already. Flashes. Oh, that doesn't make any sense at all. Let's see. Let's jump in the debugger real quick. We're gonna go check on line 35. T is currently 0. Okay. New flashes 0. Right. Oh. Oh man. It helps if you increment T. Plus, that is a necessity of a while loop, of a while true loop. 194. Was that what I was going for here? I guess the answer they're looking for is 195. So I actually need to go one more than that. This way. The answer should be 194. based on that they're kind of ambiguous. They don't tell us the answer, but that looks to me like it should be 190. Let's try it here. 302. Now we'll try 303. Not right. Okay. Um, probably 303. So wait a minute before I can resubmit. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video for a second. All right, of course, I forgot to unpause the video when I went and submitted 303, but 303 was the right answer. So we can come back and check. That was just ambiguous in how they asked it, but let's do a quick review. Pretty simple. I don't know why it took me so long to get through this. Stupid errors. But basically, I'm just going to loop over all of them. Originally looking for 100 steps, but then eventually looking until some condition happens. In each loop, I will add one to everything, and then I will check for any that need to flash. And if they flash, I will call them, returning the number that flashes that call happens. If if the number of new flashes ends up being 100, which means all of them, then I can print part 2 and be done. And also, I'm just going to track the number of flashes overall. The flash function is a recursive function. It's just going to set the current one to 0. It's going to loop over, this time correctly, the adjacent squares, checking if they're inbounds and that they're not already flashed, because I don't want to add to what's already flashed, and then add one to them. And then if there's any that need to flash, I'll flash on them. And because of the way recursion works, each flash will return the number of flashes that it caused. And so sort of you can cascade up until you get the final total being returned. So that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around with me till the end, and I will talk to you next time.